Good morning. The Mexico government is likely to soon enact high tariffs on a wide range of imports. Here is Mexico's current tariff schedule, which carry an average tariff rate of 16%. And that will go up to 34% if the new law passes. Auto parts and cars will see a huge rise, up to 50%. New minimum tariffs will apply to plastics, steel, appliances, toys, textiles, furniture, aluminum, and glass. Also up big on motorcycles and trailers. Claudia Sheinbaum is president of Mexico and is trying to explain here that these tariffs are not being done in coordination with the United States, but instead is a national priority to protect its domestic industries. There are over 1,400 categories of products involved. Her government is talking to embassies for China and South Korea to explain its plans to strengthen the Mexican economy. The new tariffs are not yet law, but Chinese companies aren't waiting. They're already cutting back their investments in the country. The Mexico-China Chamber of Commerce reports that inbound investment is slowing in automotive, auto parts, and metallurgical industries. The tariff issue has generated tremendous uncertainty, and big Chinese firms are already shutting down their investment plans there. A toy company is looking at Vietnam instead, along with an electronics manufacturer. The business models don't work anymore with the new tariffs on inbound components for final assembly in plants in Mexico. That had been a popular business model and has driven massive Chinese investments into industrial parks across Mexico, especially for products that can be further exported into the United States market. That strategy doesn't work anymore, and the new tariffs will blow up lots of reasons for some Chinese companies to put final assembly plants into Mexico to serve Mexican consumer markets. So that's likely to be the first major casualty of the new tariffs, that Chinese inbound foreign direct investment is drying up. But another will be American car companies who build vehicles for the Mexican market using factories here in China. General Motors builds a subcompact that's a top seller in the Mexican market for $17,000, and it's produced by its Chevy factory in China. The car is not available in the United States, naturally, but the Aveo and Onyx from Chevy are also popular brands in Mexico. The new car price in the United States averages nearly $50,000, while in Mexico the average cost of a new car is $32,000. Mexico is a huge market for General Motors, and 65% of GM's Mexican sales come from factories in China. Over 60,000 cars in the first 6 months, and in the past 2 years, 132,000 cars. Across all brands, Chinese car imports are about 20% of Mexico's new car sales. That's higher than the US and Japan. And it's probably higher than that. BYD is the world's biggest car maker, and it's a Chinese brand. Geely is another, and neither of them reported their sales data for this analysis. The car industry in China has a superior production scale and a huge competitive advantage. Mexico's policy of welcoming Chinese cars has helped push down prices there. The new tariffs on all these inbound vehicles are intended to help Mexico's domestic car makers, but cars from Chinese brands are still competitive, even after the new tariffs go on. Their production costs are just lower. The Dolphin Mini is a BYD hatchback which sells in Mexico for $21,500. A comparable vehicle from Chevrolet, the Equinox, has a base price of over twice that. BYD had plans to open new production centers in Mexico, probably intending to ship most of them north into the American market. Those projects have been put on hold, and so these tariffs present to each company and in each industry, a different set of math problems. For many companies in many industries, including mine, it doesn't matter if the tariff on Chinese goods is 100%. We don't have much choice. We either buy from China or go without. American car makers in China who ship to Mexico will soon face the same high tariffs as Chinese car makers in China who ship to Mexico. And we already know how that's going to go. A price-sensitive Mexican consumer is likely to buy the Chinese brand, even with tariffs of 50%, because there's nothing else for sale at those price points either. This is the CPEC Road, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Be good.
With all your soul, with all your mind, love your neighbor as yourself. Pray for those who hurt you. Love your enemies. Do unto others as you want others to do for you. Store up for yourself treasure in heaven, for where your treasure is,